Hello, everybody. Welcome to the part one of the Disney ranking. Yeah, that's right. It's finally here, and it had to be split in parts because I was kind of lazy watching these, and I wanted to make a video before the new Disney movie comes out. Even though, well, today, the new Disney movie came out, and I wanted to make part one of the ranking. So yeah, let's go. The first part will be the Walt Disney era. Even though whether you love or hate the guy, you gotta at least admit that he made some pretty good animated films. And so he made 19 films when he was alive. Well, if you count the Many of the Ventures of Winnie Pooh, he worked on that a bit, but it didn't come out until like 10 years later after the last movie that was like official that he worked on pretty much. But so I had my fun with these films and my I really wish this film will end right now moments with this era. So this is actually three eras: the Golden Age, which is the first five; the Wartime era, which is six of the films; and then the Silver Age, which is the rest of the films. So we'll start the list right now. Kicking at the bottom of our list, number 19, we have the Three Caballeros. I couldn't like. I just. It was so boring. I had to like. I would like watch like a few minutes of this film, turn it off, and then another day I would watch more of it. Until one day I finally forced myself to watch the rest of the movie. This film bored me to death. It is so bad. Um, it's close to being awful, but I gave it like a 3 out of 10, just straight up 3 out of 10 on Letterboxd, but it probably deserved like a 2 out of 10, honestly. The only part I really found interesting was when as you can see here, they're on the carpet and they're like going through water, and I'm pretty sure the water was live action if I remember, but yeah, that was cool. Other than that, this movie sucked. The freaking Donald Duck flirting with women, I don't know. I hate the song too. We are the Three Caballeros. I hate that song so much. It's so annoying, and I get it. Whenever I randomly remember this movie, I always think of the song, and I can't get it out of my head. This movie sucks. The animation was decent. I guess that's kind of a point too, but like, really, do not watch this film. And some people even say this is one of the better wartime era films. This is not at all. Want to see a better wartime film? Then watch the rest of this list. You're gonna see four spoilers, but there's gonna be all the movies that are on the bad side of this list are all wartime era films. So yeah, we might as well look at number 18. So at number 18 we have Make Mine Music. I had to actually watch YouTube clips of this thing to like watch it because Disney didn't put it on Disney Plus for some weird reason. Probably because it's so friggin' forgettable. That's what this movie is. It's just forgettable. Um, really, there really wasn't a single part I found interesting besides the Peter and the Wolf segment, which was decent. But actually, no, that part was good. I kind of like that. It prevented it from being like the Three Caballeros level, even though it's like just a little bit better than Three Caballeros. I guess the animation was cool, I guess, but it really felt like it was ripping off Fantasia. Which is, speaking of Fantasia ripoffs, at number 17 we have Melody Time. I honestly forgot this film was even existed when making the slideshow for this. The animation was a bit better than Make Mine Music, but still, it's really boring at the same time. My favorite part, the only part that I liked in this movie was the Little Toot segment. Not kidding, that's an actual part. The freaking boat's named Little Toot. That was kind of enjoyable, actually. Not gonna lie, I liked it a bit better than Peter and the Wolf from Make Mine Music, so I put it over Make Mine Music, but still, they're both equally bad, pretty much. Even though, like, this is just, like, an inch better than Make Mine Music. Really, it just feels like the worst part of the wartime era is that, like, basically there's half of the films that are like enjoyable, and the other half is just ripping off Fantasia, but like shorter versions of Fantasia. I would say that like Make Mine Music and Melody Time would be like the Fantasia ripoff duology or whatever, and then Three Caballeros is just the stupidest one. That movie kind of ripped off Fantasia. Actually, no. Maybe it should be a rip-off Fantasia trilogy. Yeah, Disney ripping off its own movie. Yeah, just like Planes. Just like Planes. Need to rewatch that movie again. Anyways, number 16, we have Fun and Fancy Free. But the question is the movie fun? Kind of. Kind of. This is better. This is a way better. Well, like, not way better, but, like, still better than the other films. And I would actually rate this movie a 4 out of 10, but that still means it is bad. It is bad. The worst part of this movie is the live action segments during the Mickey and the Beanstalk part. What were they thinking? Oh my gosh. It probably wouldn't have been that bad if it was just the humans, but no, they had to put creepy puppets. Like, what were they thinking? Oh my gosh. Now, the Jiminy Cricket parts weren't actually terrible. I didn't really mind them at all, honestly. Let's talk. This is a two-story movie with like, it's pretty much two movies, but just like combined in one. Bongo, the first story, is so bad. It is awful. It's a basic love story. Oh, I've seen this a million times in cartoons. Why? Just make, if you want to make one of those, just make it interesting, please. Um, the narrator is the worst part of this segment. It probably wouldn't have been awful, but like the narrator made it way worse. Her voices for the characters don't fit at all. It is so bad. Let's talk about Mickey and the Beanstalk. Mickey and the Beanstalk was like the only good part of this little movie, besides the stupid characters interrupting it. But like, it's Mickey Mouse. It's got to be good. But like all these wartime hero films have Mickey Mouse characters on them, and they're all bad. Don't watch them. This one's mediocre, but like Mickey and the Beanstalk, I would actually sit down and watch, and it'd be like, hey, that was actually good from like all of these. So that's why this film is like a 4 out of 10 level, and the other ones were 3 out of 10s. Okay, we're finally done with the bad films. Now we're getting to the films that are okay. Number 15. Oh gosh, here I'm gonna start making some enemies. Sleeping Beauty. That's right, I'm putting Sleeping Beauty at number 15. This film was just boring. That's all I can say. I don't remember any of the characters' names. It probably should be lower, but the animation and the ending where the freaking prince or whatever, who even was it? I don't remember. But like the dragon fight at the end was awesome. And I mean, true love's first kiss. I mean, that was fine. The animation's the best part of this movie. I don't know if I already said that, but like, it's so good. It's so good. It's what saved this from me giving it a 5 out of 10. Instead, I gave it a 6.3 out of 10. But I didn't care for any of the characters except for Maleficent. Maleficent was cool. I gotta say, it's just boring. I am sorry, I didn't like it. Speaking of making more enemies, number 14. This is probably going to be the most controversial one. Cinderella. Yeah, Cinderella is just okay. The animation's good for 1950. Um, I did not care for the evil stepmother or whatever she was. She was just, she just existed. All these characters just existed. I gave this film a 6.8 out of 10 on Letterboxd. Honestly, I think I should have gave it like something lower. The animation's good. I liked the ending. The ending was pretty good. But like really, there's nothing special about this movie besides the animation, and the ending was good also. So this and Sleeping Beauty has to be the most overrated classic Disney movie that was like most like non-Renaissance movies like from this era the most overrated, but like bruh, did not care for this one bit. Um it was close to being good, I guess, but like I don't know. I just didn't care for it. Speaking of good, we're getting to the good films, finally. Alright, number 13, Saludos Amigos. I know, a wartime era makes it into the good movie list. How's that possible? Saludos Amigos is interesting because it's a wartime era, but it's actually enjoyable. This was the first wartime era film. The goofy segment where he's like on the cowboy. That was fun. I didn't not care for live action parts, but yeah. Anyways, Saludos Amigos is an enjoyable film. It's pretty much what I gotta say. This introduced the Three Caballeros, and they weren't bad in this movie. They were way worse in the Three Caballeros, and it made me so mad. That movie, I don't want to think about that movie anymore. This movie, Saludos Amigos, it's a good movie. It's a good movie, but does not compare to the other movies. Obviously, well, some people say I can get why people say this is an average movie, but like the worst of the wartime era, no, there are way worse wartime era films. I haven't seen Son of the South because I don't need to, but like I don't think I want to see it. Number 12, I'm gonna start making some more enemies. Alice in the Wonderland. Yeah, sort of forgot about this film when I was making the slideshow. This film is weird. That's all I gotta say. It's just a weird mess with stunning animation and an alright protagonist, and the reason why I thought this was a good movie, it was fun. It was a fun film by how weird it was. That was the fun part about this film, but like I still gave it a 7.3 out of 10 for not being my favorite Disney movie at all. I liked the ending though. That was cool. That was a cool twist. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but really all I got to say about this movie, honestly, didn't love it. All right, these next two I'm gonna make some enemies with, but number 11, Dumbo. Cowboy Dino told me this movie was bad, and for the scene when they got drunk, that was just weird, but the movie's enjoyable. But it's only great for like the first few minutes of it. The little, oh no, I didn't get my baby. That was sad. The best part of this movie is freaking Casey Jr.'s coming down the track with a smoky stack. That train is the best part of this movie. That song is the best part of this movie. The friggin' side characters. There can be annoying side characters in movies, but then there's like side characters like Casey Jr. that don't talk, but like have a freaking catchy as hell song. It's just, I love it. The other characters are fine. Dumbo and the weird mouse, I don't remember his name. Don't feel like looking it up. Fine. Dumbo's mom was also fine. I did not like the other elephants that bullied the frick out of Dumbo. I did not like that. What was weird about this movie is that it went from being a sad movie to like, oh, the elephants can fly. This elephant can fly. You gotta get him to fly again. Like, what? This went from a sad, touching movie to, screw it. We have to make it longer. We gotta make a side plot of an elephant flying. What? I don't know if this was based off a book or not, which I think it was. I don't think it was actually, but whoever was in charge of the plot, whoever put the elephant can fly thing, was just stupid. Oh my gosh, that was the worst part of this movie. Honestly, it was worse than the drunk part. But yeah, Dumbo, I still like the movie. It's just that part I didn't care for. Number 10, Bambi. The animation is stunning and all. The rest, it goes from good to mad pretty much. At least the first the first 20 minutes ish were boring. I was thinking of giving this film a 6, but then after, spoilers, I think everyone probably knows this, but like when Bambi's mom died, that was when it got better, honestly. The movie got better, and like the little what happened to that forest was like surprising to me. Like I was like, holy crap. That's all I really got to say. The side characters are alright. Bambi was a cool character, I guess, but like this film's still good, still good. Some people say it's a horror movie actually, which I don't think I agree with, but I guess it was. I mean, the one part where Bambi's mom dies, that was kind of a horror part, but like really all I gotta say about this film: good movie with stunning animation. Number 9. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs was Walt Disney's first movie. His family thought that this movie was going to fail, and it turns out it was one of the most successful anime movies of all time, and it still is. This movie I hadn't seen until I think this year. Yeah, this year. But like, I was shocked. I liked the movie. It wasn't great. I didn't think it was great though, but like I still liked the movie. What makes it not great? There's the half of the characters that were enjoyable and half that was just bad. Let's talk about the good characters. The Seven Dwarfs were entertaining as heck. I love them. And the villain was also really cool, and I was not expecting her little transition to like that weird freaking old lady thing. That was cool. And now the bad characters. Snow White is just dumb as hell. Oh, what am I gonna do? I'm stuck in a forest. Hey, how about I just go into that random person's house that's probably totally not a murder and just sleep in there? Bruh, really? Yeah, that's the smartest decision of all time. Snow White, smartest Disney character of all time. Stupid character. Anyways, the other person I didn't care for was the prince or whatever. He was there for 2 scenes, and that was it. Hey, I wonder what happens if I kiss this dead body. It totally wouldn't come back to life. Like, what the heck? One thing I wasn't expecting that this movie was how dark it was. Like, holy crap. This movie's animation was dark. The scene where Snow White is stuck in the forest was dark, and yeah, I was not expecting this to be dark. But overall, Snow White is good for its first anime movie. Number 8, Lady and the Tramp. Now, this film was just fun. Film was fun. It's an animated romance movie that actually works, in my opinion. Um, the freaking spaghetti scene, well, you can see right here, but like the scene where they both have spaghetti and then they kiss, that was legendary. Animation great. All these movies have great animation in it. Well, like besides some of the wartime era films, but like really they have great animation. The characters, I like the characters in this movie actually. Um, really, all I gotta say, the plot was pretty good also, but didn't think it was that great because I don't know. But now we're getting to the great films. Number 7. How the heck is the Sword of the Stone this high on the list? But what you might be thinking, you might be shocked. This underrated gem is a great movie. Yeah, we're getting into the great movies here. Number 7 from here on out. All these movies are great. This movie, I was not expecting it to be great. I was expecting it to be, at first, I thought it'd be average, but then the Angry Video Game Nerd said that this was his favorite Disney film, and I was thinking, maybe this will be a good movie. And it was. I found a lot of the parts to be very enjoyable. I like the part where they turn into fishes, and that was fun. The part where he pulls out the sword, King Arthur, that was awesome. The characters are awesome in this movie. Like, oh, this kid's not gonna become the king at all. And boom, nah, he does. All I gotta say about this movie, it was just great. 8.2 out of 10. Number 6, oh gosh. Probably gonna be the most controversial take. Fantasia not being number 1. Don't get me wrong, it's a great movie and all, but masterpiece, it's half masterpiece and half what the hell did I just watch? Let's talk about the masterpieces of this movie. The Sorcerer's Apprentice, is that what it's called? I think so, but like, you can see right here, Mickey Mouse. There was a cartoon where Mickey Mouse was the Sorcerer Apprentice or whatever. That was a masterpiece. I love that segment. It used to be my favorite, but then this is pretty much like ranked for my favorite. This is my number 2 favorite segment from this movie. My number 3, I think I might know. Rite of Spring. This was an awesome segment. Holy crap. I was surprised how good this was. And the fact that they literally, it was right after Sorcerer's Prudence, it was fantastic. Oh my gosh. Like, it shows, like, all the dinosaurs dying. Like, I was just, like, into it the entire time. Awesome segment. But my favorite one, of course, it's gotta be Night on Bald Mountain. Night on Bald Mountain is short but sweet. It is stunning as heck. This is the animation at its best in this movie. It was like actually scary, not gonna lie, but like really, I was like in awe by how good this was. This is the best part of Fantasia. And if this movie was just these 3 segments, this would probably be like in the top 2, maybe top 3, I don't know, but like holy crap. Now the parts I really didn't care about. I did not care for the Nutcracker part at all. The worst part of this movie was definitely that weird segment where, like, I don't even know what even went on. The babies were freaking naked and they were flying. What the hell? You gotta watch the movie to know what I'm talking about. It was so weird, but yeah, Fantasia, great movie. Just couldn't make the top 5. What did make the top 5 was my number 5, and my number 5 is The Jungle Book. The Jungle Book was the last movie that Walt Disney worked on. Well, like Well, like, he worked on a few of the movie, but, like, then he died. And, yeah, this movie was great. I love the songs in this movie. Like, that's something I usually don't say. Sometimes I think the songs in Disney movies are average, but, like, this movie, I loved the songs. Like that. Um, that was great. This was just like, I guess they went out with a bang. Really, Walt Disney did. I really found the characters to be really fun. And it was pretty funny too. Um, the Jungle Book, give it a watch. Maybe not the live action movies. Maybe the 2016 one or the 2017 one, wherever that one came out. That I heard that was good, but like, don't watch this. Definitely gonna be the best Jungle Book to watch. At number 4, chances are you knew this would be high on my list if you saw my top 5 Halloween movies video that I made with Cowboy Dino. Ichabod, The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad is the most underrated Disney film so far. This film's a masterpiece. I'm not kidding. This film's a masterpiece. Overall, the film's a masterpiece. I talked about the Sleepy Hollow part already. Let's take this time to talk about The Wind in the Willows. The Wind in the Willows is fun. It is great. I love the characters in it. Mr. Toad is a great character. The story of the movie was just done perfectly. Well, not perfectly, but it was done well. There are some funny lines in it, like the part where Toad sees the motor car for the first time. That was great. And the part where they try and get the paper, that was just fun. The Jungle Book actually reused that part for one of the parts in the movie, which was great. The best part of this movie, Headless Horseman, it's Legend of Sleepy Hollow. If it was just this part, this would have easily been like number 2 or number 1. This part is a masterpiece. It is perfect. The songs, besides one, yeah, this would definitely be number 2 if this was just The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. The songs besides one, I love them all. The Headless Horseman song is by far one of the best Disney songs I've ever heard, and one of the best Disney villain songs I've ever heard. In my opinion, this movie is like one of those Disney movies that just scream classic Disney, and like screams classic movies in general. The characters are just classics. I've talked about this movie a bit, so just watch it yourself, or just watch my top 5 Halloween movies videos to see my thoughts on it. Number 3. There was a time when I gave 101 Dalmatians a 10 out of 10. What the hell was wrong with me? Don't get me wrong, it's a masterpiece, and I would still give it a 9.6 out of 10, but there are some 2 flaws I have with this movie. 1, it got boring a few, and 2, I hated Lucky. Lucky was the worst part of this movie. He was such an annoying character. You can see on the background poster, I literally covered up the movie poster. Where the movie poster Lucky was there, but I covered Lucky up because I hated Lucky so much. Lucky wouldn't shut up about how he was hungry, but like, just shut up. Just find your own food. But like, you might be like, oh, it's not that annoying. He literally says it for the entire movie. It's so annoying. Other than that, this movie is fun at its best. Like, this is one of Walt Disney's best movies, and I was surprised how much I enjoyed this. Cruella's a fantastic villain. She's, like, actually scary. Not gonna lie. Let's get to my number 2. My number 2, Peter Pan. Before I start, this background image is fantastic. It looks so good. Thanks to Letterboxd for giving me like all the like they didn't give me it, but I used them in the slideshow. Like all these background images and all the posters are from Letterbox. Well, not all of them. Some of the Fantasia, a few of the Fantasia ones, and the Legend of Sleepy Hollow one. I just got them from Google. But other than that, fantastic Peter Pan masterpiece. It's just another like 101 Dalmatians. I like this better than it, but it was just fun at its best. This movie's so fun. Peter Pan is the only thing I didn't like was obviously the racist scene with the Indian song. I didn't like that. I don't think nobody does because that it was racist. And I did not really care for Tinkerbell, really. Some people say that Peter Pan, they didn't like his character, but I honestly like the characters that are like rude, but then they realize, wait, maybe I should care about these people. Like I like Peter Pan. The scene where they're going to Neverland is incredible. Just incredible. The Peter Pan whistling theme though, that sound I can barely whistle, but like yeah, I love that little song. This movie, give it a watch. It's kind of unappreciated now. Most people think it's like average to terrible. Just watch Peter Pan. It's just a great time. But my number one is the only 10 out of 10 on this list. My number one is Pinocchio. Pinocchio is by far the best classic Disney movie. The story the story of Pinocchio just defines what a classic story and what a classic movie is. The characters are classic as hell. There is some weird moments like why did the old man or whatever, I forgot his name, but why did Pinocchio's owner take the freaking goldfish and cat to look for Pinocchio? That was just weird. This introduced Jiminy Cricket, and he was actually pretty good in this movie. I felt that Jiminy Cricket was actually the protagonist of this movie, which is interesting. His goal was literally to stop from Pinocchio from doing bad stuff, and all Pinocchio was doing was bad stuff. But later, he learns that yeah, whatever. I gotta do good things. But yeah, side characters are great. Villains are fun. Um, the animation, especially for like the park, the circus thing, that was fantastic. Fantastic movie, Pinocchio. And don't listen to Cowboy Dino, who hasn't even seen this movie but thinks it's gonna be bad. Everyone spam on Cowboy Dino's latest video to watch Pinocchio. Um, Pinocchio is a fantastic movie. The Walt Disney era had its ups and downs, and it's really ups, and then it's average. I still like this era. I had an enjoyment time watching these movies, even though six of them I didn't like, and like two of them, well, four of those movies I thought were bad, but like the other movies are pretty good to great to masterpieces. Go check out my letterbox reviews of these movies if you want to, even though some of them are like really lazy. But yeah, I'll link my letterbox in the description. The only ones I don't have a letterbox review on is Snow White and Dumbo. But other than that, I have letterbox reviews of all the other movies. Anyways, for now, that's all, folks. See you guys in the next video.